Hi, welcome back to a new part of a tutorial. Today we make a couch. You can get it by Google, typing in picture search. Designer couch. Then you must look and maybe find it or make simply a screenshot of that here. Good. So we start. First we make the hardest thing, that is that thing here, because it build it and gives the formation for all the other stuff there. Yeah. So okay, we start with add mesh circle. Should be create circle, then that is only a part of a circle. So imagine that is a whole circle, then it is create one. Such like that. So what we get now is edit mode, extrude scale to get the thickness here. Then we go extrude and put it to set. That is for that high here. And it must be a little bit leaning. So we scale it a little, then it is leaning. Now we need here this bottom. So we extrude scale much. It must be long as that. Okay. Then we need this down part there. So we extrude to the down. That is our base mesh where we start to get this part out. So Shift D to make a duplicate of them. Then top view, edit mode with background selection, word selection, border selection, and delete what we don't need. Now we have that. That is not enough. It starts from here and goes to there. So we have to delete that part here too. So that is exactly that what we have there. To get that a better look than it is now, we have to do some. So because of that, I'll make a copy of that. Shift D, save. Now we get here this part to get there some polstered stuff there. So we take that here, Shift D to duplicate, bring him up, P to separate, selection, object mode, go to the new object, and apply them by rotation scale. Then set the origin to the geometry. You see now that is better. Now we want to round up that in all parts that we see there. So we have to get this whole thing and extrude them up. First a little, then the next for the round parts that I come there. And that is simply all. Shift D to make a duplicate of them. Now we want to round up that things there, so we must mark that line and this one and that one that we want to round up. So Control B to bevel and roll the middle mouse button to get it round. Now we have that cushion built that we see in this. We make a smooth on it, shading arrows come, so we give them a net split on, and it is done. That we put away, we don't need it in the moment. That here isn't all, that is sure. So we can move that here to the second layer, that here to second layer, and that here to the second layer. So that is our basic step. You've seen that we have here then the other ones, and we need the same bending as there for the other things there. So we need a sample of that roundness there. So we go in edit mode here and get here one loop. Equal which one? It's a circle, so each one is even. So Shift D to duplicate, bring him out, P to separate the selection. Now we have a single one, but you only see him. He isn't applied. So object, apply, rotation scale. Set the origin to the geometry. We now have that here. When we are there, we can now extrude them, but you see it isn't straight in the moment. So we have to rotate it as it is straight. Yeah. We make a copy of that, Shift D. Then we go in and close it with F and extrude to the Y. So we have that cushion size there for each one. Now we need to round up this edges there. Because of that, we need a good topology. That topology isn't good because that lines don't flow to the end of the object. That makes problems by the beveling. Because of that, we need to Shift D, secure, copy. Then we delete here the back. We don't need that. So now we get here this whole side and extrude scale. Then we scale set 0. We look from side. Then we bring it up to the base and bring them back to his starting point. Now we have a good topology that flows completely around the mesh. So all is loopable, and that is what we need. Here we do it again. Extrude scale, bring them down. Scale set 0, bring him to the down, and the last one to the back. That is all we have to do. We now make it for all the things with background selection, again that all on the same high, so scale set 0. Fine. We have now that. That means we can move that to second layer, that to second layer, make a secure copy of that one that we built it, file, save. Now it is bevel able. So with Control B, we can move that here and give them by rolling middle mouse button the roundness that we need. So that is what we got there, and that is the cushion we want to have. So we smooth that. Then we give them here, this edge split is there, that is good. Okay. That is fine for now. We move that here to the second layer. That here is done so far. When you look at these cushions, you see in the middle is a cut, and down part is the same as the top part. So because of that, we only have to switch them away in one direction. So we have to apply before, rotation scale again, bring the origin to the geometry, make Shift D and turn it around 180 degrees and Y. So rotate Y 180 degrees, rotate Z 180 degrees, and done. Now we have the absolutely same um, object, and we only have to close that here, and then we can get the space that we have there between them. The same surely we have to do with that one here. So Shift D, and then we take here a mirror, interactive mirror, switch that around, and you get that here. That is what we want. Good. We done that. File, save. Next part. We make here this cushion stair. It's only a cylinder. So we add a cylinder. 32 is much, but we let it rotate Y 90. Scale down. Scale in the X. Good. All this stuff isn't that sharp at the end, so we have to bevel there. That means we go in there, get there 2 loops, and scale X them to the end. So we have the area to work for the bevel. We take the front and the back face, and Control B, move the mouse, roll the middle mouse button, done. That cushion is ready. Set it to smooth, done. Bring it to the side. We need the holders for that. That is the same. We add mesh cylinder. Here we can take 24, you can take 20, you can take 12. That it's no real heavy stuff there. So scale set, and the leaning we make later when all is done. Then we see better which leaning is the best for that. But it's done. We bring it to the side. Good. We have to do the cushions there, and this one here. We start with that one. So we add mesh cube. Scale and set, and scale and Y. We need a small one, such like that. And it should be rounded at all edges there. So we get in and get there this loop in the middle. So we have the bevel range set up. And we need it on both sides. We start with one, or we start with both. Let me try it. Control B, move the mouse. You see the influence is too high, so we must set them a range for beveling. That means we need here 2 loops in the vertical, scale set X to bring them at the end points where we want to round up that. The same we make in the horizontal, so we make 2 loops, scale set, and set it to there. Good. Now we take here the outlines and bevel them. Control B, move the mouse. Don't overgo to the edges, then that happens. So believe before. And roll the middle mouse button. So that is enough. It is a short fact. Don't overdo that. Only thing you can do, you can make the range crater if you want to make it harder. That is your turn. Control B and make it on the back side too. Little bevel, just like that. Done. Smooth, and that is our caching there. That comes to that point there. Good. File, save. So next we want to build is one of these cations there. So we add mesh or plane, rotate X 90 degrees, bring it to front, edit mode, give them subdivide 3 times, give them the modifier subdivision surface on it, mark the middle range of it, so we get that here, and this middle part we mark, and then we take here proportional editing connected and grab that in the Y. Let's see what happens. We can bring them out. We don't should overdo that. The cushion isn't that fat, so we let it like it is now. Then with Shift D, we make a duplicate of that. Then we take the whole outline and extrude them to the Y. But before go back, we must disable proportional editing. Now scale Y0. Now we have a middle line where we can control. That is good. So you see we have the one side of the cache and we need the other side too. So we take a mirror modifier on it. That is here. We don't need it in the X. We need it on the Z. So we have that. We need a clipping also and bring the whole thing together. Then it is one. Now we have that near to a cache, but it isn't completed. So we make another copy, Shift D. Then each cushion is at the tips smaller than to the other part, the rest part. So because of that, we need a proportional connected editing, and then we grab in the set this point, grab set, and bring a little variation in there. Grab set. That one is higher than the rest. So we have to do it here the same. Grab set. Only a little. Grab set. And we do the to the side too. Grab X. And here too. Grab X. Here too. And here. That is our cushion at the moment. Looks better than that one, straight one, but it isn't perfect. So Shift D. We take now the middle line that we built it there and scale them a little bit greater than the rest. So that means we disable proportional editing and scale it simple. And then we have that look that the cushion needs. So we give them a smooth on it and it's done. That is a cushion. Good. We can move this tree one to second layer. So M to move. Click on second layer. Done. We have done one. We have to do another one that is longer there, but that is simply that we scale that in the X. Done. Good. We done the cushions and the rest there. We have to make this foot stair. Yes, a cylinder and scale down. Rotate Y90 scale down, scale X, round up at the ends. For that, we need a bevel. For that, we need a bevel range. For that, we make two loops in, Control R, roll the middle mouse button, we have two, accept it by left clicking, scale X to bring it to the end. Then mark both ends, Control B, move the mouse, roll the middle mouse button, done. Smooth that and give them an add split. So you see here comes something up. For that, we take here, when we look from top, this face and this face, and bring them out. So extrude and put them up. That is this one that we need for that. Good. We double them each time for each thing there later. So file, save. Good. We have to done that things there. We first make them and then we make that thing there. Good. So we start add mesh UV sphere, and that is size, top view, with background selection, word selection, and border selection. Back deleting and scale Y to bring it down, and then we have that effect there. Then we mark the backline and extrude to Y and close with F. So we have an object and we have a smooth on it, and that is good. That is this one. The other one's the same, only a little bit bigger. So Shift D and scale it up. Good. Bring both to the right side. So file, save. Now you ask, how should I do such? That is simple. That is a Bezier curve. So add curve, Bezier curve. Rotate X 90 degrees. We start from down here. So we have to grab and position it at the back. Then we go edit mode, go to a photo of them. That is my first endpoint, and rotate them like I need to. Then we extrude again to the top line. Sure that it is perspective view. Think on that. So we must handle that here by freehand. So we only make here it rough, and then later we tweak them as we need. So we extrude again to the middle point, correct it, and extrude again to that point, give them a little bit bending there, here too. Then we go up, so extrude to the other middle point there and correct it, extrude again, middle point, correct it, and last time extrude and rotate it. That is what we got in the moment. We know that's perfect perspectivic and we need it at orthographic view. So we got that. That's ugly. So it should be have the high float there. So Shift D, make a copy of that, and now we form that it is a good one. So we bring that to the side. That one should be a little bit smaller than the other one, such like that. Now we try to get it to a real round flow. So you must do it with your emotions. You must see that where it should be round, what is a circle, what isn't a circle, where there is too less or too much or overdone. And when you handle that perfectly, you will have a good result. You must play with that. There is no mathematic method to do that here perfectly. It is more trial and error, like ever in computer world. That nearly is good, but here are some. So little try to, yeah. Here is an error, so we take here more in this direction. It flows more. That a little bit too long or too, I don't know. So we bring them more to that point. Yeah, but then we need to grab it more there, that it can flow. Now we look at that. This endpoints from that one, and that one should be at the same height, I think. And that should only be a little bit higher than that. So that means we take this whole thing, the three middle points, and move them downward. So we get that. Shift D to duplicate. Then we need to give them a better bending there. So we must play around with that. Here is the arrow, and it's too near if you ask me. So I bring it a little to the side, and that a little to the side. So okay, that flows good, but here this isn't correct. Yeah, that has a good flow. Here a little, and there. Yeah, that flows better, but here is a little problem. Yeah, better. Yeah, that is our base mesh that we need for that. So only thing we can do that here goes better in the float. So we grab that here to that and done. Shift D to duplicate. Now we need to make a mesh for that. So that means Shift D again. First we take here this curve values and go here to fill full and give them a depth. And you see we need a big one. That is a big one. That is good. And now you see that is not round. So we have to get the resolution to 3 or 4 maybe. And then we can correct it now that it looks more professional rounded. That there is space between them and the bandings correctly. So we play around. Yeah, I think that can work. So we need here a distance to there, that must be the extrude. Then we get that. That is exactly what we have there. But it can be a little bit brighter there, or deeper, or how you call it. So such like that. Shift D, make a copy of that. So we now can convert it as a mesh. So that means Alt C, mesh from curve, and now we have a mesh here. That's perfect. So we can move that lines and this stuff to second layer, so move second layer. We have that here, and you only must put in there then these things there to give them a look. Good. When you want this black line, it's simply a middle line that you loop that you get there, and then you can give them another color. That is not a problem. If you want to have this little depth in there, surely you take here loops in. So we get a loop in there, then another one behind, short behind, then another one and a fourth one. Then you can loop the middle one and extrude scale them. That gives the depth then there. And when you get there, then add split on it. It's perfectly done there. Yeah, the colors we make later, so we haven't to do that now. This carpet we make with particle system. So we only need now in the moment a plane. We scale. That will be our carpet later. So bring them to side. Then we have here pictures. So we add mesh cube, scale set, scale on the whole, scale set, then scale Y. You want to have this outline there, so we go edit mode, front face, extrude scale, scale X, and extrude and pull it to the Y. First picture done. Shift D to duplicate. This picture is the same, only need to tweak that. Scale set, done. Good, both pictures there. Then this board there is add mesh cube, scale set, scale X. Yeah, done. Next one is that little table there, so simply Shift D and scale that down. Scale set. Okay, then 4 legs for the table. So we add mesh cube, scale down, and scale set. That are the legs of the table. We bring them to the object set for we view through it. Shift D to duplicate it to there, and these two guys, Shift D to there. Table done. Good. Bring them to the side. Good. We have done much of the things, not all, I'm sure. But we have a start, and next time we go on there. So see you in the next part of the tutorial. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.